Good evening and welcome back to the Ed Smith Stadium in beautiful Sarasota, Florida. It's a cool evening for baseball. Number 18 on the spring schedule for the White Sox as they will battle the Pittsburgh Pirates, led by the Humperdinck, former White Sox third base coach Jim Leyland. And here is the starting lineup for the Pittsburgh Pirates this evening. Leading off at second base, the very talented second-year player Carlos Garcia. Don Slott is behind the plate. He'll bat second. Andy Van Slyke, their all-star center fielder, bats third. Cleanup man is third baseman Jeff King. Brian Hunter is in left field. He'll bat fifth. He's the former Atlanta Brave. He's followed by the right fielder Orlando Merced. Lloyd McClendon is the DH. He bats in the seventh spot. Batting eighth at first is Kevin Young. And bringing up the rear at shortstop is Tony Womack. And a very happy St. Patrick's Day to everyone out there in television land. The White Sox have just taken the field. And the Sox will line up this way. Poof, there they are. Tim Raines is in left field. Lance Johnson once again in center. Joe Hall was having a great spring. We'll talk more about Joe later on. He's in right. Robin Ventura is killing the ball at third base. Ozzie Guillen at shortstop. Joey Cora is the second baseman. And at first, the big hurt, Frank Thomas. Ron Karkovice behind the plate. And Wilson Alvarez on the mound for the Sox this evening. There's a look at Wilson. Do not adjust your sets. This is Good Guys Wear Green, St. Patrick's Day. And the Sox, well, we'll tell you more about the auctioning off of the caps and jerseys being worn by all the players tonight. But meanwhile, Wilson's 1994 spring numbers, he has pitched in 6 innings, gave up 9 hits, 4 earned runs. He has walked 2 and struck out 3. The American League, well, actually all of baseball, batting .360 against Wilson so far this year. But he was absolutely brilliant in 1993. Wilson won 15, lost just 8, had a 2.95 earned run average. 31 ball games, he completed 1, but he won his last 7 starts and also beat the Blue Jays in the ALCS last season. So Wilson Alvarez, well, the White Sox really got a scare his last time out. Chris James hit a line shot, one hopper right back to the mound, hit him in the back of the left hand. Fortunately, it was just a bruise, so he is able to make his scheduled start, and he should be ready for his regular turn once the season starts. So tonight's umpires behind home plate is Chuck Merriweather. Mark Hirschbeck is at first base, and the ever-famous Fieldin Culbreth will work third in this evening's ball game. So the Pirates, we're going to get a chance to look at a National League opponent tonight. We are ready to rumble, and once again, it's my pleasure to bring to you the Hawkaroo.
All right, Wimpy, thank you. And once again, good evening, everyone, and welcome to beautiful Ed Smith Stadium. And this, as Wimpy mentioned, a very cool evening here in Sarasota, Florida, as Carlos Garcia will lead it off. 26-year-old second baseman, last year hit .269, 12 homers. He knocked in 47, takes the first pitch inside. So the Pirates coming in with a very fine spring mark of 9-5. And as Tom told you, the Sox 10-7. They've played a lot of split squad games. There's a high heater, and the count evens at 1. Don Slott on deck and Andy Van Slyke in the hole. Garcia, 18 stolen bases as well last year. The only thing they say right now is defense has got to be a little more improved in 1994. Good change right there from Wilson, and the count moves to 1-2. 340 down each line here at Ed Smith Stadium. 375 in the gaps, 400 straightaway center field, and a little slight breeze blowing out to center. So a good night for hitting. Another jam-packed crowd here at the stadium. Sox are going to break their all-time attendance record this spring. Here's a breaking pitch, sliced hard foul, and the count hangs at 1-2. Pirates, last year a struggling season. They lost Van Slyke midway through the campaign. Finished up with 75 victories, 87 defeats, 22 games back in 5th place. Breaking ball low and inside, 2-2. Wimpy, you were talking with Humperdinck, Jim Leyland, before the game, and he likes his club's chances this year.
Yeah, he really does, Hawk. He feels like they can be real competitive in their division. The one thing, they've got to pitch it and they've got to catch it. And I think Zane Smith his performance this spring is going to be really critical, of course, and to start the season, because this guy has had nothing but arm problems over the last few years.
Count hangs at 2-2. Well, Jim Leyland, certainly one of the most respected, if not the most respected manager in the game. And he very seldom comes out with any statements that really aren't pretty close to the money. Last year he said we're going to struggle, and they did. Fastball up and in, full count to Carlos Garcia.
Well, the people that they put on the field on a daily basis is going to produce some runs. There's a lack of power. For example, Jeff King, their cleanup guy, hit only 8 or 9 home runs last season, but they can knock in runners from first base, and that's brutal.
High chopper, Ozzie. Quick peg in time, and the lead man down.
Second, the catcher, number 11, Don.
That'll bring up the catcher, Slugo. Don Slott. He hit 300 last year for the Buccos. 10 homers. He knocked in 55. Nowfield playing him around to the right. Big gap between Tim Raines in left and Lance Johnson in center. There's a curveball strike. Dark with the numbers. Fastball. Got it by him. And very quickly 0-2. Wilson, like he finished up last year when he ran off 7 in a row. Getting it and throwing it. Another good heater.
Well, you can't get to him upstairs. He threw on almost the identical pitch to the previous hitter, Garcia. Not too many guys are going to get their hands above that high fastball. Wilson Alvarez clocked usually around 94 miles an hour.
That fastball runs down and away. 1-2. So the veteran Don Slott, 35 years old. Good breaking pitch. Just off the corner. Did not go, says Chuck Merriweather. And the count evens at 2. Pirates last year as a club hit .267. That was 2 points higher than the Sox. But their team ERA at .477. That's not too good.
That's a bunch, especially in the National League when you don't have to deal with a designated hitter also. So Zane Smith, Randy Tomlin is also another big project that has to do something for Pittsburgh if they're going to contend. Now you look at their division though, Hawk, they should be right there though. It's not an insurmountable task. I'm sure Leland is going to get as much out of his players as any manager possibly can under those circumstances.
Alvarez with a 2-2. Off the end of the bat into center field. One dog is there. Lance Johnson makes the catch, and there's 2 gone.
Batting third, center fielder, number 18, Andy Van Slyke.
That'll bring up the center fielder, 33-year-old veteran Andy Van Slyke. Andy in 83 games last year before breaking that collarbone hit .310, 8 homers, and knocked in 50. So he was off to having a darn good year. Fastball misses. Ventura well off the line at third. Outfield shading Van Slyke around to the left. Two and 0 the count. Andy, one of the more free-spirited players in the game. He loves to play. And every year it seems like he comes up with 2 or 3 good quips, good quotes. Good sense of humor.
He's not afraid to speak his mind. There's no question about that. Boy, very talented too. Great defensive player. He's had a lot of back problems in the past.
You know, there are a lot of guys in the National League that'll tell you that he is the best center fielder in baseball.
Wow.
Here's the 3-1. ate him up, jammed him. So full count to Van Slyke. Sox in those St. Patrick's Day green. We're going to be telling you all about that top of the second inning when Rob Gallus comes in and tells you how you can get a chance to bid on these jerseys. You put your bid in.
Oh, didn't I? I don't think anybody will top that one.
Pops him up left field. Tim Raines is there. So Wilson Alvarez going to have a easy 1-2-3 inning. And after half inning of play, it's the Pirates nothing and the good guys coming to bat.
No score, bottom of the first inning from Ed Smith Stadium in Sarasota, Florida. And here's the White Sox lineup given by the skipper, Gene Lamont. Leading off in left field is Tim Raines, batting second. At second base, Joey Cora. The big hurt, Frank Thomas, once again at first base, bats third. Cleanup man is right fielder Joe Hall. Robin Ventura, red hot at third base, bats fifth, followed by DH Darren Jackson. Lance Johnson is the center fielder in the seventh spot. Batting eighth behind the plate is Ron Karkovice, and Ozzie Guillen brings up the rear at shortstop. They'll be facing 33-year-old left-hander, the pride of Stone Mountain, Georgia, Zane Smith. Defensively, though, the Pirates have Hunter Van Slyke and Merced in the outfield. King, Womack, Garcia, and Young are the infielders in the battery tonight of Don Sloth and Zane Smith. Zane, we talked about his injury problems. Boy, he is a major key to any success that the Pirates are going to have in 1994. Sinker's his best pitch, also throws a curveball and a changeup.
First pitch to Tim Raines. Takes a strike on the outside corner at the knees. Rock hitting .267 on the spring with a homer, and he's knocked in 3. Well, Zane Smith, as you mentioned, all those injury problems, 33-year-old veteran southpaw. There's a breaking ball strike, a quick breaking pitch, and the count 0-2. You told me Wally Joyner was a pride of Stone Mountain.
Hey, there's a lot of prides of Stone Mountain. Andy and Tommy Pachork are prides of Stone Mountain.
That breaking pitch low and inside, 1-2 the count.
Well, actually, Zane is originally from Madison, Wisconsin, but we'll take him at Stone Mountain.
Outfield for the most part straight up. Breaking ball hit hard. Good play by Jeff King, and there's one gone. Raines smoked it.
Well, a big key to a left-hander doesn't throw real hard is to have a good fielding third baseman, and Jeff King shows that he can play his position right there. One quick step and a dive to his left as Tim Raines really got the head of the bat out and smoked it. Tried to go for that hole, but just couldn't find it. 93 numbers on Smith, 3-7, 4.55 earned run average. Pitched in only 14 games.
Joey Cora takes a fastball downstairs. Joey hitting .324 on the spring, no homers. He's knocked in 5. Last year, a .268 hitter with the Sox. Joey also 20 stolen bases in '93. Tied for second as he smokes that one into center field. So the 1-out single by Cora, and that'll bring up the big hurt. Last year's unanimous MVP in the American League, Frank Thomas.
He's good.
He is?
Yeah. Frank's real good.
Frank hitting .344 on the spring. Talking to Hurt before the game, he said he's just flaring a few duck snorts here and a few duck snorts there. He said he's just getting ready to kick it into gear.
So in other words, he's hitting a weak .344. Hello.
That's extra bases. Cora rounding second. They're going to wave him around. Terry Bevington with a sign. Here's the relay throw home, and they're going to get him.
Wow.
Good relay play by the Pirates.
It just doesn't get any better than this right here. I thought Boomer didn't made the right decision at third base, Bevington that is, in sending him. There you see the sinker. Well, I'll tell you, no left-hander matches up against Frank Thomas. Not a bad pitch on the outside corner, not quite low enough. But as you can see, Merced gets to the ball quickly. Wow, how fast was that? But the key right there, Garcia got himself in the throwing position. Oh, yeah, with a gun. You're right. And he just nailed it. Perfect throw.
Here's right fielder Joe Hall. Takes that sinker strike. And as Wimpy told you, having an outstanding spring, hitting at .458. Last year at Nashville, hit .290, 10 homers. He knocked in 58. And before we show you our picks to click, you at home select yours. Breaking ball inside. And there they are. Very quickly.
Evelyn Wood.
Skip Ellison, our producer director, went with Robin, the hot hitter. Wimpy, you're such a front runner. Goes with a big hurt. I went with little Lance Johnson against this left-hander.
And I had last pick, and you guys take left-handed hitters. Frank is the world's greatest hitter against the left-handed pitcher.
Well, actually, I let Eddie Brinkman do the picking for me tonight, and he said, go with one dog. I said, all right. There's a shot. Base hit in the left field as Thomas scores, and the Sox take a quick 1-0 lead, and Joe Hall continues his torrid hitting.
Go ahead, Joe Hall. That's RBI number 4. Joe came in, Sox said, hitting at .458. Man, let's take another look at it. It's a breaking ball. Didn't quite get it down enough and in enough, and he got the head of the bat out right there and smokes it in the left field. Great job of hitting there by Joe Hall.
There's a fastball to Robin Ventura. Runs inside. Robin, .467 on the spring. 3 homers. He's knocked in 11.
Big.
Boy, he's been hitting the ball hard. Breaking ball misses. 2-0.
Very quiet at the plate, as you can see him taking that breaking ball from a left-hander. And we commented too, Hawko, throughout the spring how he's closer to the plate and he's closed up his stance. He just looks like he's getting a better look at every pitch.
Smith tries to run that one in on the fist, and the count goes to 3-0. Turn him loose.
Absolutely.
Ooh, there's a strike.
Would you have swung at that pitch?
Me? No chance. Not if the manager gave me the take. Out in front of that one a little bit, and a full count. Well, all 4 hitters have smoked it here in the bottom of the first inning. Tim Raines, a line shot out to Jeff King. Solid hit by Cora. Opposite field double by Big Frank. And a solid single to left by Joe Hall. There goes the runner. As the breaking ball outside. And that'll bring up Darren Jackson.
Batting 6, designated hitter, number 21,
Darren hitting at .290 on the spring, but he does have 4 homers. And he's knocked in 9. He says he is feeling good. He is so happy to be in a Sox uniform. Takes a pretty good hack at that one. High towering fly ball to right field. Mercedes there makes the catch, and it'll retire the side, but the Sox come up with a run on 3 hits. No errors, 2 left after 1. 1-0 good guys. Sox here in the top of the 2nd inning, and joining us in the booth is the vice president of marketing and broadcasting for the Chicago White Sox, Rob Gallison. Rob, you've got a lot of things coming around now with the green jerseys, the caps, the auctions. Tell us a little bit about it.
Well, everybody's Irish today, including the White Sox, I guess. Tonight is our big auction. We're going to be auctioning off about 30 or so jerseys over the WGN tonight.
Jeff King hits the first pitch to Ozzie. 1 pitch went out, and you are definitely Mr. 1, 2, 3 Gallup.
Let's get going here. That's why I always have to come on in the top of the innings. Auction tonight, we're going to be showing all during the game in groups of 4 the uniforms that are available via auction Fans can mail in their bids. We're going to show the address of where they can mail in their bids. We're going to show what jerseys are available. All the proceeds are going to go to White Sox Charities and the Sarasota Dare program. And a lot of fun tonight, Mr. Irish, Mr. Pechoric.
He looks great in his blue and white, doesn't he? Here's former Brave Brian Hunter. Hunter played in 37 games last year with Atlanta, hit 138, no homers. He knocked in 8. Breaking ball high in the count, 2-0. Well, you know, Wimpy went outside himself the other day, and he put in a bid for Michael Jordan's jersey already of $20.
I just picked a number. Get foul. I picked a random number. I picked 45, and I said I'd go as high as 20.
He told me that, and I told him that if we were cutting up the jersey into 1-inch strips, maybe he could get one. I don't think you grasped the concept.
Oh. That wasn't a random enough number, huh?
Here's the 2-1 pitch to Hunter. Low 3-1. Well, we're gonna put up the address on how the fans can bid for these jerseys. But how about the hats? Pops him up. That's playable. Karkovias gets rid of that mask. And very quickly, Mr. Gallus is down to his last out.
Let me tell you about those hats. That's the most often asked questions, the green hats and the green jerseys, because by the time the season starts, they're always all gone. So if anybody wants to buy one of the green White Sox hats or one of the green jerseys like the White Sox are wearing tonight, give our friend Chet Clovis a call. There's an 800 number. It's 800-944-SOX-7. And you can get a spring training catalog, see all the spring training items that we have on sale, and you can get your own green hat. But by the time the season starts, I think they'll be all gone. There's only about 400 hats left, and those will go very quickly. You guys look real good in your hats tonight. Very stylish.
Thanks.
Hawk came color coordinated.
Orlando Merced smokes one into left field. That's a base hit. So the Pirates come up with their first safety of the evening. And as Lloyd McClendon comes up, let's pause for station identification.
This is America's #1 sports station, WGN-TV, Chicago.
Along with Tom Pechoric and Rob Gallus, this is Ken Harrelson from Ed Smith Stadium in Sarasota, Florida. 1-0 good guys here in the bottom of, checked at the top of the second. And here is the 35-year-old veteran DH, Lloyd McClendon.
What do you think that Michael Jordan jersey is going to go for, Tommy?
Gee, now I don't have any idea.
He is just hoping somebody would outbid him for the $20 as he takes a strike. Wimpy, I have never seen you go out on a limb that far before.
Well, new year, I thought I'd...
You've changed?
Yeah.
Okay. Outfield, spread out. Swung slightly to the left. And we will be throughout the telecast giving you the number for the hats and also showing you the ball hit pretty hard in the left center field. Raines going back. Wynn taking it back on the track, makes the catch, and it'll retire the side. Nothing across. There was a hit. Rob, stay with us through the next half inning. After an inning and a half, 1-0 Sox. The tape here in the bottom of the second. 1-3-0 for the Sox, 0-1-0 for the Buccos. For the Sox, it'll be Johnson, Karkovias, and Guillen. Lance hitting at .267 on the spring with a homer, and he's knocked in 5. Last year's American League triples champion with 14. Jeff King in on the grass at third. Gets out in front of that sinking fastball, hammers it foul, and the count evens at 1. And a reminder that several autographed green jersey and cap sets that the players are wearing tonight are available for sale by mailing in a bid to Good Guys Wear Green. And we'll show you that address in just a moment at 333 West 35th Street, Chicago, 60616. Please include your name, address, telephone number, and the name of the player that you are bidding on. That's in the left center field. Long way to go for everybody. And did he make it? No, he did not make the play. So Lance will pull in the second with that leadoff double. Good effort by Brian Hunter.
But you know what, Hawk? They were really played in an unusual position in the outfield. Andy Van Slyke was way over in right center field. I guess he thought that Lance Johnson was going to, if he's going to pull anybody, it was going to be Zane Smith. But usually that'd be the center fielder's ball, as Lance kind of inside outs that fastball down low. You're right. Hunter made a great effort. If he was right-handed, he might have caught that ball.
Here's Karkovice. Kark hitting at .263, a couple of homers, 5 knocked in. Outside 2-0. And let's check out our players the first set. Now remember, all bids must be postmarked by March 23rd. Gene Lamont, minimum bid $250. Jason Beret, Craig Graybeck, and Doug Lindsay. So make sure you get the address. That's outside 3-0. All proceeds benefit Chicago White Sox charities and the Sarasota Dare program. .30 pitch to Kark. There's a strike. Rob, how did this promotion go last year when you did it?
Great. We raised nearly $20,000 for charity, and we expect to do about the same this year. It's a lot of fun. Unfortunately, we don't have a jersey in Wimpy's price range yet, but we didn't get one for the Bat Boy. Maybe if we had a Bat Boy.
Willie Thompson.
That's ball 4 to Karkovice, and here comes Ozzie.
And you not only get the jersey, you get the hat too, Wimpy. I mean, you got to think of that. Now that's a $20 hat, right there,
You're right.
without the signature.
That's a real good point.
You already got a hat, though.
Look at what Ozzie did last year. 284 homers, 50 RBIs, and as we have commented, squares the bunt, fouls it off. Last 6 weeks of the season, played as well as he ever has in the big leagues.
He was definitely the leader of this ball club. He just took everybody. Says, come on, follow me, jump on my shoulders. And it really wasn't. You know, Frank Thomas was great. Everybody pitched wonderfully. But Ozzie Guillen really assumed the leadership role on that team. And it really showed the last few weeks of the season. He was great.
There's a bunt.
Hello.
It's a good one. King's only play is going to be over to first base to Carlos Garcia. So the sacrifice 5-4. Johnson into third and Karkovice into second.
Left fielder, Tim Raines.
So with one out, that'll bring up the leadoff hitter, Tim Raines. Rock smoked one. Fine play by Jeff King last inning. Besides the green jerseys and the hats, anything else going on?
Well, we're going to have actually some pretty interesting new promotions this year. One of the things we're going to do is reprise the Turn Back the Clock promotion over the Labor Day weekend. In another couple of weeks, about April 1st, we're going to announce the date we're picking. We're keeping that a secret for now. We've picked out a pretty neat year in White Sox history to go back to, I think. A couple other promotions that we'll be announcing in a couple of weeks that are going to be a lot of fun, I think. Plus a lot of the traditional stuff that we've done, even a purple hat giveaway.
That ball gets away from Don Slott. Here comes Lance. He'll score. Karkovice into third, and the Sox lead at 2-0. You know, when we did the Turn Back the Clock promotion at Old Comiskey Park, in all the years I've been in baseball, that was the most fun promotion I have ever seen. That was fun.
It was a fun day. People came to the park that day in a good mood, and they were ready to have fun.
It was just like when you went to the ballpark as a kid, Hawk, you know?
Yeah, what hurts?
It really was fun. I love those little outfits everybody got.
Hats.
Yeah.
Rock fouls it back.
You know what reminded me of that day a little bit was the other night when Michael got his first hit. There was a feeling in the ballpark like that. People were just smiling, having a good time.
How's season ticket sales going so far, Rob?
Season ticket sales are going very well. Thank you for asking.
Good.
Actually, we're just about to set a new all-time franchise record. Obviously, building on the fact that we won the Western Division and had an MVP in Frank and a Cy Young in Jack and a Manager of the Year in Gene Lamont, plus a Gold Glover in Robin Ventura. It was really quite a year. So we won't be lonely at all this year out of Comiskey.
Great.
Smith with the 3-1 pitch. Fastball fouled out of play, right side. 2 runs, 4 hits, no errors for the Sox. No runs, 1 hit, no errors for the Pirates.
One of the other new things we're going to be doing this year on a Friday night in May, that is followed by a day game on Saturday. So we're going to move our fireworks to a Friday night, do a combination laser fireworks show, which should be fun. The Chicago American Giants hat night's going to come back again. That's one of our more popular promotions.
The ball hit hard. Here's the throw. They got Karkovice in the pickle. It's Kevin Young came up with it. Now King will put it on Kark as Rock moves into second. And there's 2 gone.
Well, with 1 out, nobody hurt on a contact play. Karkovice knew he was going to be out, so he had to get in that pickle to allow Tim Raines to get himself in the scoring position, which was the right thing to do.
He did.
Yeah. Watch this. High fastball. Rock hits it to the right side. A good play by the first baseman, Young. Of course, he doesn't make a great throw. He throws it right into the bat there, but the tag, as you can see, but Kark delayed him long enough for Raines to get in the scoring position. That's not so bad. You don't want to try that play with nobody out.
Here's Joey Cora. Had a base hit last inning. Takes the ball. Outfield short. Well, Andy Van Slyke really short in center, right where he should be. As Joey can't get the sinker, and then the count evens at 1.
Rob, do we get the socks too with the hat and
We recycle
jersey?
the socks.
Oh. Okay.
A lot of those socks out here saw duty last year.
Okay.
Breaking ball on the fist. Good pitch by Zane Smith. King cuts in front. Makes the play, and it'll return to the side. Sox come up with another run, and after 2, they lead it 2-0. Nothing good guys here in the top of the 3rd. For the Pirates, it'll be Young, Womack, and then the top of the order, Carlos Garcia.
Number 36.
And we're going to be showing you the second set of players that are going to be available for that auction. Jammed him with a fastball. Trouble. Joe Hall coming on, got no chance. There is a duck snort. As Young moves into second base.
Oh, he definitely had a play at second. If he was able to pick up that ball, Joe Hall looked like he got a little bit anxious right there. Took his eye off it just for that split second.
The shortstop, number 51.
And the second set of jerseys.
Number 51.
Michael Jordan. A minimum bid of $400. Wimpy?
What?
A minimum bid of $400.
All right.
You want to put it in?
Well, hey, I'm not going to tell you how I'm going to bid on. This is a confidential thing, you know.
Walt Reniak, Norberto Martin, and Michael Huff. Here's Tony Womack, the shortstop. Takes a fastball upstairs, and evidently this young man can scoot. Last year with 3 clubs, stole 51 bases.
You know, I hope he can play something other than shortstop, because they got a good one over there in Jay Bell.
One of the better.
Yeah. Offensively and defensively. There was one guy I wasn't wrong on in my life. Ow.
There's a sharp single in the hole. They're going to wave Young around. Here's a throw off the mark. Gets away from Karkovice. As Young scores, Womack into second, and it's a 2-1 ball game.
Aggressive base running by the Pirates in this inning. There could have been 2 outs out there. If Joe Hall's able to make a decent throw to home plate, they would have nailed Kevin Young right here. Watch these quick hands by Tony Womack. Man, they are just lightning quick as he just gets ahead of the bat on that inside fastball from Alvarez, and you can see the errant throw way up and out of everyone's reach. So the runner gets to second base. That'll be an error on the right fielder.
Well, Joe Hall has a good arm. That ball just sailed on him, took off. Well, here's Garcia. Grounded out to Ozzie. Fouls it back. And also, we're going to give you the Number once again for the hats, the green hats, 1-800-944-SOX-7. That's 1-800-944-SOX-7. $21 to count.
Well, they made out some great green T-shirts too, Hawk, that we got to see some of the staff was wearing. Good guys wear green. I don't think they made enough of those. They would sell it a ton. I'd buy some of those.
You would?
Let me say that again.
You would what? Some of those?
Buy them. We got the greatest stuff here. You know that? White Sox uniforms, the memorabilia. It's just the best in baseball.
A ball and 2 strikes with Womack at second. Nobody out here in the top of the third. Breaking ball, Garcia.
Boy,
trying to move it to the right side, even with a 1-2 count.
Playing some baseball right there, and a breaking ball too that he probably.
Actually, it's a pretty good pitch to move to the right side.
Yeah, it was breaking down and in too. How about those White Sox hats? Do you see enough of them in Orlando now?
Wimpy, it's amazing. It's amazing. You know, a few years ago, the only thing you saw a lot of, you know, Yankee hats, Oakland hats.
Mm-hmm.
It's amazing. Oh, good breaking pitch right there, down and in. Garcia's gone and a big out.
Not able to get that runner to third base. Good hook by Alvarez. That's his first strikeout. Watch it. He just lets this one work for him. Down and in. That is nasty. You see him right over the top of it. Garcia completely fooled by it. Did not pick up the rotation. Very tight spin by Wilson Alvarez. But you know, in Stone Mountain, they didn't even have a White Sox team name for any of the Little League teams, Pony League or whatever. Now everybody wants to be the White Sox, could get their uniforms, those black hats. You see them everywhere.
Here's Don Slaught. Fly to Lance Johnson. Back in the first inning. Pretty good hack at a heater right there. Count 0-1. I'll tell you what got me though was when a couple of weeks ago when Lou Holtz came down to Bay Hill to take a lesson from Dick Titty, and he comes out with his White Sox hat on.
There you go. I guess you didn't tell him at that time that Krista was going to Florida State, right?
No. No, I didn't. Uh-oh, that's trouble. Little jam job. Here comes Hall. He's there. Makes a nice running catch. He was playing fairly shallow, and that's out number 2.
Well, I agree with you, Lou. You still should be national champions.
I do too.
Oh.
Center fielder Andy Van Slyke. Andy flied to Tim Raines his first trip.
Wasn't Lou down there recruiting some big Florida stud?
Boy, there were some big
Irish
guys. Wow, there's some big guys to recruit down in Florida this year.
Oh,
big linemen.
man.
I'm talking about 6'8", 320.
17 years old.
17 years old.
I wouldn't be surprised to see Lou down here. I know he loves you, and he'd love to see you take your money on the golf course, but I think there was an ulterior motive down there. He had to be looking at somebody.
I think so.
Well, right now, Florida probably produces as many good football players as any other state in the country.
Yeah, they do. As many as any other. California, of course, Texas, Florida. 21 to count. Outfield straight up, spread out. Van Slyke can use a whole yard to hit in. The 1-1 pitch. Good fastball.
Well, Wilson certainly doesn't look like he has any ill effects from that.
No.
That bruise he had on the back of his hand. Well, that was a shot off the bat of Chris James the other day. So
That's all Wilson. He said it scared him, but it was just a bad bruise, and that was all.
I bet you the initial shock of that thing made him think that his hand was broken.
Certainly. Fastball just off the corner. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out. Here's the pitch you want to try to put him away with right here. Fastball. Those are the ones that scare you. Everybody's all right. Got him in the shoulder, I believe. Yeah, there he goes rubbing that shoulder.
I hope a couple of those beers on the dugout are his.
That's the first. That's the first amber-colored beer I've seen tonight. Most of it's been green.
Oh yeah. He might have to loosen up a bit.
Once again, a 2-2. Another high heater. That went up out of the strike zone. Van Slyke just able to get a piece of it.
Well, the one area that Andy Van Slyke, I think, has really improved in Hawk is his ability to hit left-handed pitchers. He used to be really bad against the left-handers, just wear right-handers out. But right now, he is given quality at bats. I've seen him year after year getting better and better against the southpaws.
Full count to Andy Van Slyke. The cleanup hitter, Jeff King, on deck. I'm just glad to see, as you said, I'm just glad to see Wilson throwing the ball with no ill effects. Pops that pitch up and out of play.
Keeps throwing that high fastball, and Andy Van Slyke just underneath it a bit. Now, Leland said that he can't afford to lose Van Slyke, and of course Don Slaught too, their catcher. He's counting on him to catch a lot of baseball games this season. Doesn't really have a particular number in mind, but Slaught hitting 300, knows his pitching staff well. Those are 2 position guys that he can't afford to lose.
Once again, the payoff. Van Slyke, good swing right there.
Yeah.
Win now negligible. Old Glory hanging straight down. Boy, in batting practice, there were some rockets going out of here. I mean, over that blue backdrop in center field. '24-year-old left-hander Wilson Alvarez. You know, it's nice to see a young man come of age, as we did last year with Wilson, as we did the year before with Roberto Hernandez, as we did this year also earlier in the season with Alex Fernandez.
Oh boy. Who will it be in '94? Man,
it's like
what an
giving
at-bat.
Alvarez a workout.
I think I might have to hook him on this one.
You would?
He's just proud of that fastball. How many has he thrown in succession? Man. Maybe Scott Ruffcorn will be the guy this year, Hawk. Well, I'll tell you, he had 4 great innings yesterday.
He was bringing it.
Yeah. Against the defending world champion Blue Jays. Pitched very well. Sox beat Juan Guzman yesterday afternoon. Oops.
Van Slyke works the walk.
Man, get him out of there. Wilson's just glad he's out of the batter's box right now. That was a terrific at bat for Van Slyke.
Here's the third baseman, the cleanup hitter, Jeff King. Last year hit .295, just 9 homers, but he knocked in 98. One of the reasons he had 35 doubles and 3 triples.
Well, Leland said he can drive in a run from first base, and that's the key. He's got extra base power, not necessarily home run power.
There's a changeup down low. Breaking ball into right field. It's can of corn for Joe Hall. Makes the catch, and the side is retired. Pirates get on the board, a run on 2 hits, 1 error, 2 left after 2.5. 2-1 White Sox.
Get back, Joe.
Some of the fans from East Chicago, Indiana. I believe Fernando Martinez, Oscar Martinez, Bill Morellas, all here from East Chicago, Indiana. As Big Frank Thomas takes a strike. Frank, a double run scored back in the first inning. A line shot into right field. Pitch low and inside, and the count evens at 1. Two runs, 4 hits, 1 error for the good guys. Run on 3 hits, no errors for the Pirates. Lays off that low sinker. 2 balls and a strike. Down front. Smith took just a bit off of that one. Joe Hall on deck and Robin Ventura in the hole. And if you joined us late, as we mentioned at the top, another jam-packed capacity crowd here at Ed Smith Stadium. Big Frank's gone. Good pitch by Smith. First strikeout for the Pirates southpaw.
Well, that looked like it had a lot of late movement right there. If you fool Frank Thomas, that is doing something. See the late movement right there. Good hard sinker by Zane Smith, and that is his bread and butter pitch. And he's got to get a lot of ground ball outs.
That one had some outstanding late movement.
What are you suggesting?
It's Joe Hall.
More power to him.
That's right, if you don't get caught.
Yeah.
Joe, an RBI single in the first. Now field straight up. Sinker misses. 2-0. If there's one guy in his lineup you want to throw it to, it's Big Frank.
Oh boy.
Hard 2 hopper. Tony Womack picks it up, guns him out. 2 gone. That'll bring up Robin Ventura. Drew a base on balls in the first. Robin, as we mentioned, hitting .467. 3 homers, 11 knocked in. Curveball misses. Boy, he is really looking at the ball well. Real soft at the plate, soft hand, soft head. Takes that turned over sinker inside. 2-0.
Well, Robin, as we've talked about so often, when he last year, oh boy, get up.
Way back. Way back. He looks up. You can put it on the board. Yeah. Robin's 4th homer of the spring, and it's a 3-1 Sox lead.
Man. He is so hot this spring. I bet you Robin wishes the season would start tomorrow. Just can't get any better than the way he's swinging the bat right now, but he has closed up his stance considerably. He's much closer to the plate. He doesn't have to dive across the plate with that wide open stance that he had last year. See a very minimal stride right there. He gets the head of the bat out, and goodbye.
Here's the DH, Darren Jackson. Darren popped up to Merced in right field, his first trip. 2 hopper, Womack in the hole. Right over the top in time, and that'll retire the side. But Robin Ventura's 4th spring homer, and after 3, Sox by 2.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is number 60 in your White Sox Junior program at find the GTE Ultimate All to Anywhere Entering Lane. Your attention to enter the GTE Ultimate.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Chicago White Sox and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form without the expressed written consent of the Chicago White Sox. 3-1 good guys here in the top of the 4th, and along with the Duke, Tom Paciorek. This is Ken Harrelson from Ed Smith Stadium in Sarasota, Florida. Brian Hunter will lead it off, and to tell you about it, here's a whimperoo.
Thank you, Hawkster, and a happy St. Patty's Day to you. Wilson Alvarez dealing to the former Atlanta Brave Brian Hunter. He takes the curveball down low. Boy, Brian, as Hawk mentioned, his first time up, hit just 138 last year. Just had a few at bats though in Atlanta. He's glad to be out of there. Misses. 2-0. Sox leading at 3-1. Top of the fourth. There's a shot. Ooh, he got that one. Way back goes Tim Raines to the wall. He's got it. What a play by the Rock. Oh my. Extra bases taken away from Brian Hunter. I didn't think he had a chance for that one.
Right fielder, Orlando Merced.
Well, we saw last year Tim Raines, for the first time since he's been in the Sox uniform, play some outstanding defense, and hopefully it'll carry over for 94. There's just a fine play. That was a rocket. He heard it.
Right over the top of his head. There's that big smile that we're so accustomed to seeing from Tim Raines. Good play. Wow. Defensive gem of this one. There's a good fastball, strike one. Orlando Merced. He can hit. 27 years old, .313 hitter last year. Had 8 homers, 70 driven in. He's going to get better. He got his first chance to play last year, and he took advantage of it. Pirates trying to be competitive after losing such stars as Barry Bonds, Bobby Bonilla over the last couple of years. Ooh, good heater. Got him. Can't touch this one. So Alvarez gets his second strikeout.
Designated hitter, Floyd
He blows away Merced up and away. The whoosh. So 2 up, 2 down here in the fourth. Lloyd McClendon is the hitter. There's a strike. Well, you got to be strong to hold the bat where Lloyd McClendon holds it, don't you?
He's strong with it.
He is. Hands down low, bat straight up. He's been a good utility man over the years. And he'll play a lot against left-handed pitching for the Pirates this year. So the Pirates, they'll use a lot of role players, platoon a lot. Try and get the most out of what they have. Leland is a master of it. Jim Leland has won 666 games in his major league career as a manager, losing just 625. That's good. Breaking ball up high. Rushed that one a bit. 2-2. Sox pretty much straight away and deep for McClendon in the outfield. Infield way back. Gotcha. Strikeout number 3 for Alvarez. A 1-2-3 inning after 3.5 from Sarasota. Good guys lead it 3-1.
The Red Sox or the Yankees?
There's a grounder up the middle. Lance Johnson, first ball hitting, and one dog gets himself a base hit. Is that your pick to click?
Isn't he?
Yeah. Of course, Skip Ellison and the crew have Robin Ventura, who's got a homer and a walk. I've got Frank Thomas. The double, so our guys are doing pretty good. Of course, this doesn't count in the official standings.
You mean if you lose, you still won't pay?
Right. Yeah. Here's Karkovice. Kark walked his first time up. Lance. Back to first base as Zane Smith fires home a strike on the inside corner to Kark.
Well, Skip Ellison has finally come up with a pretty good Aflac trivia question.
Why were they called the Innocents?
Check swing strike because back in 1890 they won 23 while losing 113.
Sure wasn't the Seattle Mariners?
With Detroit batting third.
One of my teams. I think I was on that club. Sinker misses down and away, 1 and 2. I would have to say like the Phillies. I don't think they were very good back then.
Well, it wasn't the Phillies. As usual, you're wrong.
Okay. The Innocents. There's one down. That was their official team name.
Yeah.
I know you know.
Did you say Pirates was one of them?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it has to be the Pirates. It couldn't be the Red Sox or the Yankees.
Couldn't?
I don't think so. Stay tuned. Zane Smith, the high leg kick, fastball misses away. So the count goes full on Karkovice. So we'll see if Lance is in motion here. 35 stolen bases last year. Lance played a lot of baseball with a pulled groin muscle.
He plays a lot of baseball every year.
Yeah. He played hurt a lot. Not going. Karkovice strikes out on a good sinker. Lance just kind of biding his time. I don't think he's reading Smith at all at first base.
All right, let's check out our question and answer. Which team was originally known as the Innocents? Well, indeed, it was the Pirates. They became known as the Pirates when a Philadelphia player was switched to Pittsburgh by a clerical error in the league office, and Pittsburgh kept the player, and they then were called the Pirates.
So they there goes Lance, the throw to second. He's in there. He read him right that time. Ozzie took the pitch. And no chance for Don Slaught to throw him out. So the Sox get a runner in scoring position with one out.
Well, here's Wimpy said. Lance Johnson, not reading Zane Smith, gets a terrific jump and steals it easily.
Whoa. He almost didn't think he was going to get it. It looked like he was going to round second base there. 1-0 pitch to Guillen. Ozzie had a great sacrifice bunt. Oh, boy. This is not a real good swing.
Well, this is Ozzie's swing against a left-hander in spring training.
Right. Like.
Whoops.
His heart was in it. That Fanny, well, every once in a while. So Lance Johnson at second base. The Pirate outfield shallow and swung around the left field. So Lance wants to get that good jump to score on a single. There's another breaking ball. One and two. And Michael Jordan is not in the starting lineup this evening. There's old number 45, but he is scheduled to see some action. Looks good in green, doesn't he? Warren Newsom next to him. There goes the runner. He fouls it back. Oh, Lance had third base stolen. Feeling kind of frisky now. Lance running very well. It was his third stolen base on the spring just a few moments ago, but he had a great jump right there on Zane Smith.
Well, he's got Womack at short. Garcia playing back for Ozzie way back. I don't know why in this particular situation, but he's got them both laying back. You can get a good jump.
Yeah. Of course, Slott's got a great view of the runner, the whole situation with a left-handed hitter up there, so you really got to have some confidence if you're going to steal third with a lefty hitting. There's a shot at the shortstop. Womack makes the play, overhands it to first, so Guillen denied. Lance Johnson in the third, so Tim Raines will get a chance with two out.
Ozzie calls a sinker. He was still going to get it, even though it hit the mound. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, you know what I'm thinking now, huh? That's got to scare you a little bit, doesn't it?
Scare you? How about me?
I was thinking of you. There's a sinker to Raines, misses. Joey Cora on deck. The Rock with a defensive play of the game last inning, taking away extra bases from Brian Hunter. Tim lined to third his first time up. He grounded out. Actually was safe on a fielder's choice. There's the breaking ball strike. 1-1. Well, they play shallow, these Pirate outfielders. Little chopper over the mound. Womack throws out Raines, and that'll do it. So for the first time this evening, the Sox come up empty, but after 4, Sox lead it 3-1.
Will Doug Pearsall and Jeff Thomas please come to the gate closest to the third base dugout?
Here's something you may not know. Even if you dropped out of high school, you can still get your high school diploma.
And it is the White Sox greatest network as Kirk McCaskill comes out to work in relief of Wilson Alvarez. Kirk 4-8 with a 5.23 earned run average in 30 games. He started 14 for the White Sox. As he delivers his first pitch, there's a strike on the outside corner. Kevin Young, the leadoff hitter for the Pirates here in the 5th inning. Kevin doubled and scored. A little duck snort down the first baseline. And there you see the numbers. Sox out hitting the Pirates 6-3. They've made 1 error. Good fastball outside corner. Boy, those numbers are deceiving, aren't they, Hawk?
Well, the biggest thing about Kirk is the fact that for the first offseason in many years, he's been a winner that he really enjoyed. He finished up so strong out of the bullpen. He was a contributor once again, and of course every athlete has to have that feeling. So it was a good winter for Kirk.
Looks and feels real healthy too, so that,
well, you know, the alternative here is it offers the Sox several nice options, Wimpy. First of all, let's say that Scott Sanderson, who has been pitching well, let's say towards the latter part of spring training he falls down a little bit or does not. Kirk is an alternative for that 5th starter spot. Now he wants that spot, but I think they want to keep him in the bullpen. Look at that hook.
ooh, nasty. Well, he took a lot off that one. Kevin Young certainly did not see any spin right there.
And let's check out our next set of jerseys and hats to be auctioned off. There you see Black Jack McDowell, minimum $400. Joe Nossick, James Baldwin, and The Rock. There's where you send your sealed bid to. Good Guys Wear Green, Comiskey Park, 333 West 35th Street, Chicago, 60616. And remember, it must be postmarked by March 23rd.
Here's Womack, takes strike 1. There's a ground ball towards second. Joey Cora on one knee. Throws him out. And quickly, there's 2 out here in the Pirate 5th. Kirk earned the save in the division clinching ball game against the Seattle Mariners. I know he was real happy about that, but Kirk really threw the ball so well last month, actually the last 2 months.
Day and night the way he threw it out of the pen as opposed to starting.
Well, you talk about guys losing a foot or 2 feet on their fastball. He gained a couple on his.
That's pretty good gas right there. He's been throwing the ball extremely well this spring. Jackie Brown, Sox pitching coach. He's done an excellent job. You know, part of being a pitching coach or a hitting coach is not so much the mechanics as you look at Brown Dog right there. It's how you work with their heads.
Yep, between their ears. There's a fastball down low. Yeah, Jackie Brown does a great job from a mechanical standpoint, but he can really talk to these guys and really make them feel like they are important and they are good. Give them that confidence that they need out on the mound. There's a little cut fastball. He fouls it off.
The only
right
thing
side.
bad that Kirk has had happen to him this spring is he lost the club ping pong championship.
Oh,
and he can play. Alex just blew him away. Alex is awesome.
Well, youth must be served, huh? Well, Kirk is 32 years old now, but a great shape. Wow, he's in terrific physical condition.
And the catchers, Karkovice and Spanky, Mike LaValliere today, boy, they just took Ventura and Dan Pasqua. They took them down hard. That ping pong, I love that ping pong. And it's good for the players. It relaxes them. Good for the eye-hand coordination.
See, what did Robin have to say after that?
He was hot.
No. Shucks. Oh, gotcha. Great hook in the dirt. Kark will throw him out, and that'll do it. McCaskill works a 1-2-3 inning. We're halfway through. Sox lead it 3-1.
Tonight on WGN News, a high school student fights for his life after being gunned down on his way to school. Now, police think the shooting may have been a warning. We'll tell you why. Then a case of murder for hire.
White Sox good luck number 45, Jordan. Hopefully Michael will see some action here this evening. The Sox lead it 3-1, and a new pitcher is Denny Nagel, the left-hander last year with the Pirates. 3-5, a 5.31 earned run average. 50 games, he started 7. First pitch fastball bunted right towards the first baseman by Joey Cora. Easy play for Young, and quickly there's one out in the White Sox 5th.
And want to send out a big White Sox hello to a couple of big Sox fans down in Yazoo City, Mississippi. Joe and Catherine Baker, son of Baker County and daughter of Larry Baker, one of my golfing partners. He's almost as bad as you are.
Whoops, he's got a lot of your money, huh? There's a drive to center field. Van Slyke on his horse. Frank just missed it. He's to the wall. He makes the catch. Just got underneath it as Frank Thomas, going for his first homer of the spring, didn't quite get it.
So as Big Hurt goes back to the dugout, let's check out the next set of jerseys available for auction. There you see Big Frank, Alan Battle, Scott Sanderson, and Drew Denson. There's the address. Remember, must be postmarked by March 23rd.
Joe Hall, the hitter. Joe, 1 for 2, an RBI single and a ground out in his 2 at-bats. Well, he's been tearing it up, hitting over 460 on the spring. Outfield straight away, fairly deep. There's a gap in right center field. Change up. Here's another guy, Denny Nagel. They were really high on this guy, Hawk. He came over in that John Smiley trade for the Minnesota Twins a couple of years ago. Really hasn't lived up to his promise. Pretty good fastball right there, outside corner.
Where do most of the enigmas come from? Left-handers.
That's right. He's still got a way to go yet.
Right. He's going to be a good pitcher. He's got a good arm. He's got good stuff. And he has a good inning.
And that'll do it. 1, 2, 3. After 5, Sox lead it 3-1.
For the 6th, 3-1 Sox. And right now let's check out another set of jerseys that are going to be available for auction. Sealed bid, Jackie Brown, Wilson Alvarez, Robin Ventura, and Matt Marullo. Remember, all proceeds benefit Chicago White Sox charities and the Sarasota Dare program.
There's the address. Good Guys Wear Green, Comiskey Park, 333 West 35th Street, Chicago 60616. Make sure you do all the stuff on the bottom of the screen too. Here's Don Slott. Fastball misses away. Sluggo 0 for 2, a flied out and a line out in his 2 plate appearances. Sox pitchers have been sharp. There's a good hard slider right there. Ooh, cut fastball. Whatever you want to call it. It was a nasty pitch.
Well, happy 13th. Colleen Evans.
Green is everywhere. You got a little Irish in you, don't you?
Yeah, a lot.
What part? There's a drive to right field. Joe Hall backpedals and makes the catch. 1 out. It's not true what they say about Irishmen, is it?
I know nothing. I see nothing, and I say nothing, Wimpy.
So with 1 out, Van Slyke in the box. Let's pause for station identification.
This is America's #1 sports station, WGN-TV, Chicago.
We're back, and with the Hawk Ken Harrelson, this is the Duke, Tom Paciorek. Sox leading at 3-1, top of the 6th inning. Doubled up on the hit total of the White Sox, 6-3 over the Buccos. Fastball down low, 2-0. So Van Slyke has got that favorable hitter's count. He's going to swing hard in case he hits this one. I'm watching him in batting practice. He was taking some healthy cuts. 3-0. Oh, swinging jam sandwich.
3-0.
Oh, my.
Oh, he's going to catch some ribbon about that.
Yes, he is.
One thing about Andy Van Slyke, he is a player's player, though. Plays hard, gives you everything he's got. There's a 3-0. Looked like a little bit of a cutter right there and just tore his thumbnails up.
I think late.
That's embarrassing.
Yeah, that is. I think late movement was the key. There's a ground ball right to the shortstop. Ozzie Guillen throws him out. Another 1-2-3 inning after 5.5. Good guys lead it 3-1. Bottom of the 6th inning here at Ed Smith Stadium in Sarasota, Florida. 3-1 Sox. Nettie Nagel sets a pitch to Robin Ventura. Good hook. Robin 1 for 1. He walked in the 1st inning and a solo homer. A terrific shot to right field off Zane Smith. Another hook. Wow, he just paralyzed them. 0-2. See Robin coming in, hitting at .467 on the spring. Certainly the best of his short major league career. Fastball upstairs. Darren Jackson the foul. Lance Johnson in the hole. Bottom of the 6th and a very quick moving game this evening.
It is.
Crisp. Pitchers working very quickly. Why doesn't every pitcher work quickly? Fastball. Robin takes it very calmly. Must be a heck of a feeling Robin has at the plate right now, isn't it?
I wouldn't know, Wimpy.
Me neither. Ground ball hits sharply. Garcia throw out Ventura. There's one down. And our next group of jerseys going up for auction. Bids must be postmarked by March 23rd, 94. Doug Manzolino, Julio Franco. There's a good one. Esteban Beltri and Roberto Hernandez. Remember? Send your sealed bid to Good Guys Wear Green, Comiskey Park, 333 West 35th Street, Chicago 60616. Darren Jackson, good hack at a high fastball and misses it. Darren 0 for 2, a fly out and a ground out. Came in and hitting at .290 on the spring. Ooh, good changeup. Ooh, turned that one over nicely. So we've seen a good fastball, curve, and a changeup from Nagel. Van Slyke very shallow in center field. Fastball up high. I wish a very happy St. Patty's Day because I know they're partying in Oaklawn at Riley's daughter, Boz O'Brien. Good people over there. Oh, good change, fouled at home plate. So Darren down in the count 1-2. Boy, here's a guy that's going to play some defense. One of the real fine outfielders. I haven't heard a whole lot about Darren Jackson. You're going to like him. I know a lot of people, we're going to miss Ellis Burks and Wright. But Darren Jackson's got a reputation as being outstanding out there as well. The Sox should have that situation of having a couple of natural center fielders in the outfield. Plus Tim Raines' improvement has been great also.
Another big asset from Darren Jackson, the fact that, God forbid, if anything were to happen to Lance Johnson, he can move into center field and he's got it covered.
Perfect. Ooh, got him on a fastball. Good heater. Darren Jackson can hit that high fastball. So Nagel, very impressive so far in an inning and 2/3.
Just gets it by him, that's all. Good heater, good gas. A little tardy.
Well, right now, it looks like the Sox really do have pretty much all the bases covered, wouldn't you think, Hawk, as we head to the middle of spring training?
Well, you still got the situation, as we talked about. 5th starter spot and also left-handed relief. And our best out, of course, to Scott Radinsky. Brad, he'll be back with us.
Oh, yeah.
But we're sure going to miss him a whole bunch. One of the best light guys on this ball club.
Oh, yeah. Great pitcher, great young man.
Wow. I know one thing. There's going to be a lot of left-handed hitters there. They don't miss not facing Scott Radinsky.
Oh, boy, I guess so. Lance fighting off that curveball. Denny Nagel's really been impressive so far. And the Pirates in the division that they're in right now. Of course, the Cubs are there also. Has the Cincinnati Reds, the Houston Astros. Houston looking to do some damage. There's a fastball, misses away. So they could be a very interesting factor in that race. Get some pitching, and if they can play some defense, of course, good pitching will make your guys play better defense. There's a shot in the hole, so Lance Johnson continues to hammer the pelota. The Hawkaroo. What new? Who told you to pick him today? Brinky Boy, huh? Man.
Look at that. Hit 311 last year. Wouldn't surprise me if he went above that in 94.
He's hitting 333, our expert statisticians tell us. You know, he's pulling the ball too, Hawk. But I'll tell you what, if Lance gets some hits to right field, and all of a sudden those outfielders start bringing him around right over here, and he's going to have that much more hitting area. And heck, he's capable of hitting 330 now. Spread out those fielders.
He is?
Sure, why not? 311, 330, what's the difference? Karkovice, fastball inside corner. 2-out runner at first base. Lance Johnson does have a stolen base on the evening. Good lead. That one misses outside. Looks like he's opened up his stance a little bit at the plate. A little bit more than he was last season. Karkovice, a strikeout and a walk so far this evening. Hitting 263 on the spring coming in. Fouls this one off right side. That'll be out of play.
And a pretty good pitch to hit right there. Just locked his hips up a little bit. But last year, up until the time he separated his shoulder at the Big A in Anaheim, he was on his way to an all-star season.
Yeah, offensively and defensively.
Well, defensively, nobody can touch him.
Right. There goes Johnson. Fastball inside. Lance had a great jump. Tough pitch to throw him out on the inside fastball to the catcher. It's like the new catcher is Jerry Goff. Came in for Don Slaught at the start of this inning. Now Lance Johnson with 2 stolen bases on the evening. I don't think he was going to have much of a chance of getting him anyway.
None.
So runner in scoring position. Let's see if Clark can pick him up. Turned it over. Got him. Good changeup right there for Nagel. So the Sox are denied. We've completed 6 from Sarasota. The good guys still lead it 3-1.
Top of the 7th inning. Some changes for the Sox as they lead it 3-1. And guess who? Moving into right field, number 45, Michael Jordan. Also moving into center field is Mike Huff. Alan Battle moves into left. New second baseman is Ray Durham. Dan Howard at first. So we'll set up the Sox for you defensively.
Leading off for the White Sox.
Battle in left. Huff in center. Jordan in right. Around the horn, Howard at first. Durham at second. Ozzie at short. Ventura at third. And a battery of Karkovice and Kirk McCaskill. Three runs, 7 hits, 1 error for the Sox. 1 run, 3 hits, no errors for the Pirates. And hitting for Brian Hunter is Midray Cummings. There you see. 276, 921 in 60 games with Buffalo. .30 pitch. There's a strike. If you joined us late, Sox with singletons in the first, second, and third. Pirates coming up with their lone tally in the top of the third inning. Kirk McCaskill has worked 2 1 2 3 innings. So the first runner to reach base against the Sox right-hander. And let's check out our Miller Lite upcoming spring telecast. There you see our next game will be next Saturday against these Pirates at 12 noon. And then on April 2nd at 12 noon against the Atlanta Braves. Orlando Merced chops it out in front of the plate. Clark's only play is going to be the first base. And there's one down.
Ladies and gentlemen, your attention please. For the
Dave
Pirates,
Clark will come up. He will hit for Lloyd McClendon.
Number 35, Dave Clark. Number 35.
Lloyd 0 for 2 tonight. Fly to left and struck out.
Well, he did very well last year. 271, those 11 homers, 46 RBIs. Good role player.
You know, he's always been the guy that people thought he was going to break out. Look at that hook. Boy, Kirk really has good curveball, good quick slider. That's nasty.
Tough to hit, too.
Tough to get called for a strike as well.
Oh, yeah.
It's good
Oh,
curveballs.
that's right. Paralyze the hitter and you get penalized for it.
Up high, 1-1. You know, one of the things about Michael Jordan, the players now are starting to think that Michael has a chance to make it. And that is what really counts right there.
Oh, yeah.
First of all, you have to believe it yourself, which Michael thinks he has a chance. And then your peers have to believe it. He has worked hard. Broken bat. Got it in on the fist. Good pitch. Durham up with it. Over to Dan Howard. 2 out with Cummings into third.
Well, that cut fastball has been a great pitch from McCaskill here this evening. Little late movement right there. But getting back to Michael for just a second. I was watching him take batting practice today, Hawk, and I could see a world of difference in the last couple of weeks. He really looks like his upper body is staying above his lower body. He's not getting out there too quick. He's using his hands much better. He's able to drive the ball so much better right now. It's great to see that.
That's into center field, hit well. Way back. As Huff looks up, that's going to be one hop off the fence. So Kevin Young comes up with his second double of the game. Cummings scores, and it's a 3-2 score.
Well, Young looks like he likes the ball out over the plate. He likes to get those long arms of his extended. And there you see a little cut fastball, pretty much middle of the plate. A little bit up, not a whole lot of movement right there. So Young took advantage of the mistake by McCaskill, one of the very few that he has made so far tonight.
Here's Tony Womack, the shortstop. That's in the left field. Allen Battle's a good outfielder. He's there, makes a catch, and decides to retire. But the Pirates put one on the board on a hit. One left. 7th inning stretch here at Ed Smith Stadium. 3-2 good guys. Home half of the 7th inning, 3-2 Sox. And right now let's check out our next set of jerseys and caps to be auctioned off in that sealed bid. Must be postmarked by March 23rd. Dan Pasqua, Jeff Schwartz, Larry Thomas, and Ron Karkovice. Also, once again, as you look at the address where you should send your sealed bids to, for the green hats, to get those, the number is 1-800-944-SOX-7. Ozzie Guillen leads things off here in the bottom of the 7th. Ozzie 0 for 1 tonight. A nice sacrifice bunt. Hit the ball hard to the shortstop. Outfield short, swung around to the left. Jeff King in on the grass at third. First ball, fastball hunting, pops it up. Midray Cummings. He's there. 1 pitch, 1 out. Well, this game is really moving along for spring training.
Yeah, it really is. Now the pitchers are getting the ball. They're throwing it quickly. They're throwing strikes. Guys in and out. That's the way it should be played.
There's Mike Huff. Breaking ball high. Well, Wimpy, when you mentioned at the top, Sox with 17 spring training games, had really almost an inordinate amount of split squad games. As that fastball popped up, Carlos Garcia going back, Van Slyke coming on. Now it's Andy. And that's out number 2. I liked it. I like the idea of playing a lot of games in spring training, getting the pitchers' innings in.
Well, it removes a lot of doubt, too, whether or not a guy has been given a fair chance to make the ball club. You look at guys like Joe Hall, who's played a lot, Alan Battle. I mean, these guys have really seen a lot of action, mainly because the 2 games played almost every day. Today's a kind of a relief for the guys because they're just 1 game.
Ray Durham takes it up high. Dan Howard on deck and Michael Jordan in the hole. There's a little duck snort. He'll take it.
Thank you.
First baseman, Dan Howard, number 61.
And here comes the big 6'6" first baseman, Dan Howard. What's he doing on the spring, Wimperoo?
No, Dan's hitting .286 with 1 homer and 2 RBIs, but you know he has really been impressive, especially in batting practice. I mean, just hitting wicked line shots all over the place, hitting the ball out of the ballpark with a lot of consistency too.
Come on, Dan, get on base. Good breaking ball. Another breaking pitch. That one catches the inside corner. And quickly it's 0-2. Just 1 home run in the ball game if you joined us late. Robin Ventura, his 4th of the spring. Long shot on a 2-0 fastball from Zane Smith. Way back over that right field wall. Fastball right there, and that'll do it. Nothing across after 7. Sox by 1. Top of the order for the Pirates here in the top of the 8th. Garcia, Goff, and Andy Van Slyke to face the right-hander Kirk McCaskill. Garcia 0 for 3 on the evening. Grounded to short and punched out twice. Good fastball. Last time against McCaskill, he saw a couple of wicked hooks. There's one, and the count 0-2. Ball and 2 strikes to the 26-year-old good-looking offensive player. Well, Garcia is strong.
Whoa.
Tries to dot the outside corner. 2-2. High chopper. Howard. McCaskill is there. They just do get it. See McCaskill, Wimpy, spending a lot of time over that rubber out there. And I like that. Showing a lot of patience inside the windup.
Well, like you said, it looks like Eddie, he's getting the ball quickly. His delivery is just terrific. There's a changeup right there. That's a pitch that I wish he would have thrown more often last season, especially when he was starting.
Especially to the left-hander.
Yeah. But he certainly isn't rushing it and really letting that curveball work for himself.
Well, when you spend a lot of time over that rubber, you're not going to rush. You take time, you wind up, you coil, then you drive. Van Slyke 0 for 3. Good strike on the inside corner, and the count 1-2. Check that. Goff, the catcher. Van Slyke on deck. Pretty good curveball, didn't get it. And stay with us. Michael Jordan will lead off the bottom of the 8th inning. Full count to Jerry Goff. Here's the payoff. He walks him. Second walk issued by Kirk. And our next game coming your way over WGN will be next Saturday, 12 p.m. Chicago time against Jimmy Leland's Pittsburgh Pirates. Here's Van Slyke. Fly to left, walked, and grounded to second. Fastball wheelhouse.
That's the same pitch that he jammed himself his last time up on that 3-0 pitch.
Oh, there's another one on the inside corner, and he did not particularly care for the call, and it's 0-2. Just get in there a little bit deeper. Outfield swung slightly to the right. Sox lead at 3-2 here in the top of the 8th. You know, you mentioned Scott Ruffcorn. But if he continues to go, throw the ball the way he is right now, he is really popping some eyes down here.
Yeah.
Curveball low, 2-2. And it looks like if he continues and finishes up strong in spring that he's going to have a place in that pen.
You would have to think so. He had a very rough beginning to this spring training, and I don't think a lot of people were thinking in terms of that after a couple of rough outings. But right now, man.
Oh, good change right there to the left-hander. He's gone. Third strikeout for Kirk. 2 down, and here's the cleanup hitter, the third baseman, Jeff King.
Great pitch right here. Well, Van Slyke has seen a lot of fastballs, especially early in this count. That pitch is basically right down the middle, but the speed of the pitch is what really got him, not the location right there.
Jeff takes a strike. He's grounded to Ozzie twice, and he's flied to right field.
Hang with him, Andy.
Breaking pitch misses, 1-1.
You know, one of the things about Jeff King, you know, he isn't exactly the prototype cleanup hitter. 98 RBIs, though, on a team that wasn't a great offensive club, but he struck out only 54 times. That's good.
Boy, he rips that one. Ozzie's there. Over to Ray Durham, and the side is retired. Nothing across. There were no hits. No errors, 1 left. After 7.5, Michael Jordan will lead off the bottom of the 8th as the Sox lead it 3-2. That's the story. 3-7-1 for the Sox, 2-4-0 for the Pirates. For the Sox, it'll be Michael Jordan, Robin Ventura, and Darren Jackson. And don't you know, the Pirates have made a pitching change from the southpaw Denny Nagel. They now bring in the hard-throwing right-hander Joel Johnston. He can get it up there. So Michael just 1 out away from facing the left-hander, although Denny Nagel really was impressive. Nagel went 3 innings, giving up no runs, just 2 hits, no walks, had 3 strikeouts. So here comes Michael. And the fans just love it.
Number 45, Michael Jordan. Number 45.
Now this is something that would happen to you, Wimpy.
What's that?
The left-hander leaves, and they bring in the 6'6" hard-throwing right-hander.
James Rodney Richard.
Fastball up and in. Michael 2 for 17 on the spring. And there's his last year's number.
He was really good.
32.6. Ground ball in the hole. Jeff King is there. Cuts it off. Over to first base just in time. And there's 1 out.
Well, Johnson's got a pretty good fastball. Michael just didn't quite get to it. Yeah, he sure looks a lot better at the plate than he did a couple of weeks ago, though. And his head's right there on contact. And look him get down the line, too. That's just a stride they got him by. He can fly.
Here's Robin. He's walked, homered, and grounded hard to second base. He can get down the line.
Oh.
Fastball, a good one. So we mentioned Johnson, when he's right, he can rush it up there, 90 plus. That's low, ball 3. 3 balls are striking out. 3 runs, 8 hits, 1 error for the good guys. 2 runs, 4 hits, no errors for the Pirates. Good fastball strike, and the count goes full. Well, as we talked about earlier, Wimpy, it's very, very important that the people that you're in that uniform with feel that you have a chance to play. And Michael is starting to get that feeling now. Fouls that one back and out of play.
Well, there never was any question about his ability to run or play defense, and we know he can throw the baseball too. Of course, you don't have you have to have a great throwing arm to be a very good outfielder. Michael with great range, and what his improvement at the plate is really amazing. Really made a lot of strides in the direction of becoming a pretty good hitter.
Good hack by Robin. To join us late, Robin hit a long home run back in the 3rd inning. Worked the 2-0 count from Zane Smith and put it out of here. Got him.
What was that?
Well, he took a little something off of it, turned it over, and sunk it away.
I guess you'd call that a changeup, but there was some late movement. Robin's been on everything that's been thrown up there, so when he swings and misses, you got to think it was a great pitch.
Here's Matt Murillo hitting for Darren Jackson. We see it in Nashville, 103 games. There's a shot into right field. Attaboy, Matt. Well, he just hammers it.
Well, he's one of our favorite guys that you want to see succeed. Matt Murillo, a fine young guy. And boy, he was really quick on that one. Really turned on the fastball. Smokes it into right field. That was the batting champion last year in the American Association. Got the high fastball, and he just gets the head out in a hurry. Quick bat right there for Murillo.
So Brandon Wilson will go into run for Matt as Alan Battle steps in. His first plate appearance tonight. Lance Johnson was 3 for 3, a double, 2 singles, 2 stolen bases, and a run scored. The winner of the pick to click.
Yeah, you win. What new?
Breaking pitch doesn't get it. And a count 1-1. Karkovice, the on-deck hitter. Outfield spread out straight up. Battle with a good rip at a fastball. A little upset with himself. He did not put that one into play hard. Wimpy, what do you think about the new Central Division this year?
American League Central? I like it. I think it's going to be a lot more competitive than some people initially thought. I know the East is going to be real tough with Toronto and Baltimore is really making great strides to becoming a great contending team too. But I tell you what, Cleveland has really improved their ball club. Kansas City is awfully tough.
Boy, John Hart's done a wonderful job with that Cleveland ball club.
Yeah, he has.
And he finally now has a chance to spend a little money. He hadn't had any money to spend the last several seasons. Now they're moving into that new ballpark. Went out and made a couple of big pickups.
Uh-oh.
Ball hits Wilson, bounces away, so Brandon will move into second base on the arrow by the pitcher.
That hit him on the foot. That's how wide that throw was by Johnston. Check this one out. He's diving back head first. That ball would have really rattled around in the right field corner over there.
Good thing he hit his foot.
Oh yeah, he would have been able to get to third easily.
That's not what I'm talking about.
Oh, yeah, that too.
1-2 the count. Gas upstairs, and that'll do it. Nothing across for the Sox, and after 8 they lead the Pirates 3-2. Pitching change for the Sox here in the top of the 9th inning as they lead Pittsburgh 3-2. It'll be the hard-throwing right-hander Roberto Hernandez.
And there you see his 93 numbers, 3 and 4. He was brilliant with that .229 earned run average, appearing in 70 games, and he saved 38 for the White Sox. So Roberto trying to close things off against the Buccos here as the Sox take that 3-2 lead here in the top of the 9th inning as you look at the half moon over Sarasota.
That's nice. Midray Cummings will lead it off. He'll be followed by Orlando Merced and Dave Clark. Thank you. So a fine outing by Kirk McCaskill. 4 innings of work, 1 run, just 1 hit, walked 2, and had 3 strikeouts. Cummings takes the ball inside.
Well, both White Sox pitchers so far have been great. Wilson Alvarez, 4 solid innings. Sox have given up just 4 hits.
Ow. Ouch. In on the fist. Ray Durham is there, sucks it up, throws him out, and there's 1 gone. And let's check out our final set of jerseys and caps that are going to be available for auction for you. There you see Ozzie, fine southpaw, and the last year's #1 pick, Scott Christman, Terry Leach, and the Deacon, Warren Newsom. And remember, March 23rd, they must be postmarked, your sealed bids. Here's Merced, 1 for 3, a 2nd inning single. Watch out, broken bat, fly ball. Michaels there, makes the catch, and there's 2 down.
What a great play. Well, you see a big swing right here. No, he hit that off the end of the bat. The bat just explodes right there. I'm surprised the ball carried that far.
Piece of cake, can of corn.
Is that guy graceful or what? I'd set a double pick for him any time.
So the Pirates down to their last man. And here's Dave Clark. Been to the plate 1 time, grounded out to Ray Durham. Fastball, good one, outside corner, and the count evens at 1. Last time we saw Roberto, he came in after Wilson Alvarez was hit by that line drive from the bat of Chris James, and first 4 hitters touched him up. After that, he pitched well. That's hard hit, base hit by Durham into center field. So the 5th hit for the Pirates. And here's the first baseman, Kevin Young. He has 2 of them. 2 doubles, an RBI, and a run scored. Kevin just 24 years old. Last year, 6 homers, 47 RBIs, but he had 24 two-baggers. Roberto wanted it, didn't get it. And the count 1-0. There's a good fastball strike. Big man in the pen, 38 saves in '93. Gas. So the Pirates now down to their last bullet.
Well, here's the guy we've been waiting for about 2 hours and 20 minutes.
You're awesome. Upstairs with the heat, 2-2. Roberto is throwing well.
Oh man,
that's one thing about the Sox. They're not going to run too many guys out there who can try to trick you.
Well, they got some stuff. Staff. Fastball, splitter, and slider is what Hernandez features.
Gas, and the ball game is over. So Roberto Hernandez comes on, gives up 1 hit, has 1 strikeout. Final score is the Sox pick up their 11th spring victory. They win it 3-2. And Whippy and I'll be back to wrap it up right after this. And tonight's Miller Genuine Draft Light play of the game came in the 3rd inning. Robin Ventura at the plate, Zane Smith on the mound, and a 2-0 count, Whippy.
And he made him pay. Look at this fastball, inner half, and Robin just explodes on this one. Quick bat, a quick point on the board for the good guys.
Robin, his 4th spring homer. Tom, and I'll tell you, he is looking right now as good as we have ever seen him at the plate.
I don't think there's any doubt. He looks like he did probably when he was at Oklahoma State in the middle of that 58-game hitting streak.
And we'll be back with the final totals and final comments right after this. Final totals on tonight's game as the Sox extend their spring mark to 11 victories, 7 defeats. Pirates fall to 9-6. For the Sox, 3 runs, 9 hits, 1 error. They stranded 6. For the Pittsburgh Pirates, 2 runs, 5 hits, 1 error. They also stranded 6. The winner, Wilson Alvarez. The loser, Zane Smith. And credit Roberto Hernandez with a save. And Wimpy, in tonight's ball game, we saw a lot of good things. We saw a strong effort from Wilson Alvarez, Kirk McCaskill, and Roberto.
No doubt about it. The White Sox pitchers were right on top of their game, Hawk, and that was really going to be a nice problem that Gene Lamont will probably have at the end of the spring training to make the final cuts. But the staff looks great. As we talked about so often, that is a stuffed staff. They will run out some vicious fastballs at you and some good breaking stuff as well. But I'm sure that Gene Lamont and Jackie Brown are really encouraged by the performances tonight.
And the bats are starting to come alive. As we mentioned, Robin Ventura has just been hammering the ball. Picked up his 4th spring homer. Lance Johnson tonight, 1 dog, 3 for 3, a couple of stolen bases, run scored.
He's your pick to click, and Lance looks like his legs are in great shape, and I think that Lance is capable of stealing well over 50 bases on the season, so that'll just add a little bit more offense to the White Sox attack. We didn't see Julio Franco tonight, but we know that he can hit. Darren Jackson can swing the bat as well. You know, the White Sox are hitting almost 294 coming into this ball game as a team, so they've really improved in the offensive categories as well.
Well, how about Michael Jordan? Wimpy, he just continues to impress everybody down here, more so certainly by far than he did at the start of spring training, and now he's starting to impress some of his teammates.
Well, his swing has improved a whole lot, as we talked about during the course of the ball game, Hawk. He's really staying right on top. His upper body's not getting too far over his lower body, and right there, that was a good swing. He just didn't quite get the head of the bat out that time. If he does another inch or 2 out front, that would probably been a base hit in the hole. And there's his defensive skills. Those have never been questioned.
So Michael Jordan just getting 1 plate appearance, and it appears in talking with Michael that indeed he's going to go to the minor leagues, give this thing a shot. And Wimpy, you know, we talked about it earlier. He has really worked hard, maybe too hard this spring.
Yeah, I think he has. He's probably put in too many hours, and that way you almost facilitate bad habits. Hopefully that won't happen with Michael.
All right, our next telecast right here over WGN will be between the Pirates and the Sox. That's next Saturday, March 26th here in Sarasota. Our telecast begins at 12 noon. The producer-director of White Sox baseball is Skip Ellison. Our associate producer is Joe Corneo. So for my partner, the Wimperoo, Tom Paciori. This is all Ken Harrelson. So long, everybody. Once again, the final score, Sox win at 3-2. Be sure to stay tuned for the WGN News.
White Sox baseball on WGN. The White Sox are brought to you by Miller Lite. Great taste, less filling. Can your beer do this? Your local Ford dealer. Quality people with quality products. Coca-Cola Classic, the world's #1 selling soft drink. Always Coca-Cola. Aflac, insuring over 35 million people worldwide. And by Toyota and their full line of quality cars and trucks. Toyota, I love what you do for me.
Friday in Birmingham, Michael Jordan debuts for the Birmingham Barons down in Double-A. He will play for the White Sox in Chicago Thursday in the annual Windy City exhibition game against the Cubs. Michael Jordan's quest, his openly stated desire to play Major League Baseball, is our topic right after SportsCenter on Outside the Lines. The most famous athlete in the world tries to master a sport he hasn't played in 15 years after walking away from his signature sport at the top of his game.
Retirement is a state of your life that you get to choose and do whatever you choose to do. And I chose to try to play baseball just to see if I could.
The question why has many facets. Perhaps the most pertinent is the most personal. Jordan's baseball quest honors his late father.
Michael says that when he was 6 years old, his dad put him on a baseball field. And his dad was the first person to want him to be a baseball player. You know, it has to do with Michael, and it has to do with Michael's father, and It doesn't have very much to do with the rest of the world.
The rest of the world may want him soaring, but Jordan's spring has been one of joy.
Just he's happy, he's having a great time, his family's there. He's doing something he's always wanted to do since he was a kid.
He was a kid the last time he played baseball. Now he's 31. Does Jordan have the physical tools?
There's no doubt in my mind, if Michael had played baseball from the time he was 17 years old, that he would have been Willie Mays, that he'd have been one of the great players of all time.
How much of his basketball skills translate to baseball?
Well, all skills are highly, highly specific, so I'd say none. Now let's consider the good Major League fastball. This pitch comes from the pitcher to the batter in about 4/10 of a second, and it takes about 2/10 of a second to swing the bat.
What do you do with your legs here, you know?
So he has to make up his mind when the ball is about halfway from the pitcher to the batter.
Your swing isn't as short as it's going to have to be.
And you want to hit it squarely, not just hit a pop fly or something. So the batter has to know where that ball is with about 1/4 of an inch. It's a tough game.
But basketball's biggest attraction transcends spring training.
We thought Bo was Elvis. We were wrong. I mean, Bo's big, Michael's Elvis.
Well, no matter what we do, people still think that it's something, you know, it's a merchandising gimmick. The fact is that we only get 1/28 of national merchandising sales anyway. We're not really involved in, at least I'm not, in the marketing of Michael Jordan.
Jordan's spring has provoked a debate, not on whether he can play, but whether he should have the chance.
If this is so good for baseball, then every team should have a celebrity spot on their roster. Tom Selleck could play for the Tigers. He certainly has a better baseball swing than Michael Jordan.
The fundamentalists are fundamental, and all they see is the purity of this game. They don't see a game, they see a temple, and he has
good advice and experimenting and hitting and hitting and hitting and hitting and hitting and hitting and hitting.
Swinging the bat until it becomes a reflex. Baseball players say that takes cage time, what we call practice, what scientists call neuromuscular learning.
By going through the same pattern, and your brain says, aha, that's how I fire to make these muscles move.
If you do that kind of a closed-loop system enough times, it becomes imprinted, videotaped into your brain.
It is a feel, a zone that maybe only he alone has ever known, when he could literally spin the ball and close his eyes and count on the rip of the chords.
Next, the business of being Michael Jordan in baseball.
What is so awful if a lot of Michael Jordan baseball paraphernalia is sold? Nobody is out there bludgeoning customers to come in and buy it.
When Jordan's dream spring continues.
We thought Bo was Elvis. We were wrong. I mean, Bo's big, Michael's Elvis. What Michael Jordan has added in the past couple of months is probably the highest visibility of the White Sox that we've ever enjoyed.
Which has prompted critics to suggest that Michael Jordan's move from retirement into the batter's box is a marketing ploy.
Well, no matter what we do, people still think that it's something, you know, it's a merchandising gimmick. The fact is that we only get 1/28 of national merchandising sales anyway. We're not really involved in, at least I'm not, in the marketing of Michael Jordan.
In fact, the White Sox don't really need Jordan. They are already giants in the merchandising arena. Last year alone, fans bought $450 million worth of White Sox hats, jackets, and T-shirts, 1/5 the total of all Major League Baseball. And ticket sales for the 1993 Western Division champions have not seen any notable increase since Jordan's arrival. Where Michael Jordan has made an impact on ticket sales is at the minor league level. Back in February, when he signed a minor league contract with the White Sox, phone lines were jammed for 3 days in Nashville, home of Chicago's AAA team, the Sounds.
The best we can figure is we had about $200,000 worth of sales. Now, we would have had some of those sales anyway, not near that many.
I heard the news break, and I called Mr. Smitho up here, and it was a madhouse. That's all I can tell you. He wouldn't even talk to me. He says, get off of the phone. You're costing yourself money.
This didn't just affect Nashville. We opened in Oklahoma City. They immediately had to put the first 3 games on sale because they were getting so many requests in case he came there.
But it was Birmingham that won the Michael Jordan lottery, and Barron officials are bracing themselves for what could be a near sellout season.
Our phone lines have been lit up like a Christmas tree.
Instead of having on a Tuesday night 1,800 people, I would think we'll have great crowds everywhere we go.
Last year, Birmingham only averaged a little more than 4,000 fans a game. If the wave of Jordan mania continues, the club expects to pack their 10,000-plus seat stadium for the entire season, which would mean an increase of 500,000 fans. But that's insignificant compared to what is at stake for Jordan and the companies he endorses. Michael helped the NBA soar to new heights in 1993 when the league grossed $1.1 billion in licensed sales. Nike, which currently pays Michael an estimated $18 million a year for the right to market his likeness, stands to gain the most. Capitalizing on his spring training cross-training, Nike sent a van down to the minor league circuit in Florida to sell first-of-a-kind Jordan baseball products.
It maintains visibility for Nike and the consumer, and Michael and the consumer, and Michael's relationship with Nike.
Nike already has hundreds of major leaguers under contract, including established stars like Ken Griffey Jr. and Kirby Puckett. But none of them is as visible or as profitable as Jordan. Nike makes about $200 million a year marketing Jordan's image, and currently the shoe giant is in negotiations with Major League Baseball, trying to secure a licensing deal that could not only be a financial home run for baseball, but open up a whole new source of revenue for Nike. And then there's Upper Deck, which is turning Jordan's new field of dreams from a fragile house of cards into gold.
Upper Deck takes you there.
This is one of 4 Jordan baseball cards that Upper Deck has released. It's a minor league card of which they produced about 15,000. It currently sells on the market for about $80 a card. Now, in comparison, the most valuable card on the market for last year's most valuable players, Barry Bonds and Frank Thomas, are worth only $35 and $60 respectively. Wilson is also profiting from its association with Jordan. Demand is up 10% for the Wilson batting glove he has taken to wearing. And Wilson has already shipped 12,000 baseballs with Jordan's autograph on them, priced at $6 each. This summer, Wilson has plans to introduce a youth glove signed by Jordan, who has never caught a fly ball in the major leagues, which brings up the risk factor. If he fails, will Jordan's Midas touch turn leaden?
Personally and professionally, I can't think of another athlete we would rather take a risk, if you will, with.
I think that he is established now as a legend. He is about as risky as Babe Ruth or Arnold Palmer.
Jordan supporters say good field or no hit, no field or good hit, Michael's move to baseball will be a profitable one. That his struggle to succeed at baseball, his desire to just do it, makes him more human and, in the long run, more marketable.
One of the difficult things about Michael in basketball was that his level of performance was so high that he was literally incredible to the public. No one can relate to the kinds of things that they love to watch him as a spectator, but no one can relate to him. Whereas in baseball, it's like a Walter Mitty story.
Walter Mitty with a shoe contract.
The Commerce stops at the foul line. Next, can Jordan make it? Should he even have this chance?
Jordan, in many ways, was a godsend for baseball.
If this is so good for baseball, then every team should have a celebrity spot on their roster.
The baseball debate, when Outside the Lines continues. Michael Jordan is the latter-day Elvis. Baseball still the national pastime. Is this an unseemly spectacle or a celebration of Jordan's ambition and the attraction of the game? The debate can turn fierce and create strange bedfellows.
I think this whole thing is a curiosity. I think the whole thing is a hoax, really.
Jordan has shown a greater love for baseball, a greater respect for baseball than so many of the people who play it only because it's a profession.
Baseball does pretty well without Michael Jordan, and I think that it can do pretty well without him in the future.
The greatest basketball player of all time says his dream is to play baseball. Now, doesn't that say something about what baseball really is and about baseball status in America?
If this is so good for baseball, then every team should have a celebrity spot on their roster. Tom Selleck could play for the Tigers. He certainly has a better baseball swing than Michael Jordan.
The fundamentalists are fundamental, and all they see is the purity of this game. They don't see a game, they see a temple, and he has defiled the temple.
That attitude among players is expressed privately.
I was surprised walking around the camps in Florida at the vehemence and animosity that Michael Jordan's audition was getting from players and coaches.
Pirate shortstop Jay Bell refused his wife's request to get Jordan's autograph. Said Bell, he's done nothing to earn that. Teammate Andy Van Slyke said Jordan would play in the majors when there was peace in the Middle East. The Yankees' Wade Boggs took issue with a SportsCenter graphic comparing his spring slump to Jordan's. The spring trading spectacle touched some nerves.
My main concern is that I want people to understand that baseball it's a game, but it's a job, and it's very, very hard work, and that, you know, you can't promote baseball in that way, I don't think.
He is Michael Jordan. He's not some 31-year-old guy. And he's done so much for the city of Chicago, so much for the Chicago Bulls. He's earned the right to come down here and take a shot.
I think it's wrong for him to use his celebrity to take advantage of this opportunity.
Opportunities that are very finite and precious each spring.
You go into any Major League manager's office during spring training, he's got elaborate charts on the wall telling him how many at-bats every player is getting on what field. And Michael was depriving somebody, be it Alan Battle or Mike Huff, of an at-bat this spring.
He hasn't kept anybody out of camp that otherwise would have been invited.
It is Reinsdorf's team, and he does owe Jordan a great deal. But sentiment plays no part in the virtually universal assessment. Jordan has next to no legitimate chance to make the major leagues.
I'll be honest with you, I don't expect to see Michael make it.
It's something that's going to be nearly impossible for him to do at this level.
I just think there's been too much time, and when you're 31, I think it's tough to acquire the skills to play day-to-day baseball.
There is, however, a major difference between the men who play this game for a living and the people watching it. An ESPN Children's Sports poll asked members of the general public whether Michael Jordan actually had a chance to play in the major leagues. Fully 63% of those polled said, yes, he did.
We've lodged too much of our hero worship in this guy.
They see Michael Jordan taking his try at baseball. I think they see themselves. I think they see their better selves, the better half, the better part of the American soul.
I think the public has been played for suckers.
Or do they need to believe this is a real-life Joe Hardy, leaving his easy chair, as in Damn Yankees, to chase a lifelong dream? Or maybe the Roy Hobbs of basketball, the best there ever was, an aging rookie, armed with memories of his father. Sentiments that overwhelm reality for us and for Jordan.
I think what Jordan did was not so much the American dream, but what we also celebrate in America as ambition. And yes, Michael Jordan had connections. Yes, Michael Jordan broke into line. Yes, a few people lost a few at-bats that they should have had. Yes, 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 yes. But when you add it all up, what he did was not only good for Michael Jordan, but it was good for all of us who do dream.
Unless you go out there and try it, unless you go out there and prove it, or prove to yourself you can't do it, you'll always wonder. And I say, if you got a dream, go for it. Hey, dreams do come true.
He calls it his dream that he wants to be a Major League Baseball player. I call it a delusion.
Will this spring of dreams, chasing fastballs in the Florida sun, diminish his legacy, his legend?
That will never touch his basketball excellence, his basketball scoring records, all the things that he did in basketball, in the NBA, and the championships that he had.
If he can't play it well, then I think fans will start to booing. They'll start to see him differently than they used to see him, and I just think maybe it'll tarnish him a little bit in the fans' eyes.
There is some urge, I think, that this man is such a hero in the Greek sense that he can move from one sport to another and be just as titanic. And what happens is, as always happens with the Greek heroes, that's called hubris, which means that you fall. In a way, Michael Jordan is a classic sense of, is the classic example of a Greek mythological hero.
3 times, Michael Jordan stood as sports' ultimate hero, the best player on the best team of the world. Then, at the top of his game, he walked away, something that virtually no one else has ever done. Now, for very personal and compelling reasons, he's trying something even more remarkable, to master a game he's not played in 15 years and do it at its highest level. The same presence that marked his departure from basketball governs this baseball quest, a self-assurance that gives depth to this baseball dream and may also doom our dream of ever seeing him soar again.